lunar hangar was supposed to be empty at this hour. Human veteran Elias Ward, age 42, retired after 20 years of combat engineering for the Terran Defense Fleet, walked with his usual heavy steps across the metallic floor. He wasn't here for duty anymore. He was just a civilian mechanic contracted to repair cargo shuttles. No heroes, no invasions, just bolts, grease, and quiet. He liked the quiet. After the war, quiet was the only thing that didn't hurt. But tonight, something was wrong. A faint scraping sound echoed behind Shuttle Bay. 6, soft, uneven, like claws dragging lightly on steel. Elias stopped. His instincts sold, tired, but never fully asleep, fled awake. Then the sound came again. Scrape, scrape. Sniff, not human. He approached slowly, toolbox hanging at his side, hand brushing instinctively against the old shock baton at his belt. The corner of the shuttle cast a long shadow, and beyond it, a small shape curled near the fuel crates. Elias blinked. It was a little dragon girl, scales the color of twilight blue, tiny wings folded tightly against her back. Maybe 8 years old if human. He didn't know dragon aging well. But she was clearly just a child, her eyes large, luminous. Reptilian gold stared up at him with terror and hope mixed together. "Hey," Elias said softly, kneeling. "I'm not going to hurt you." She trembled. "Age? Yes, my name's Elias." He lowered his voice. "Are you lost? Where's your family?" Her throat bobbed, and she whispered, "Imama. Mama Dragon is dying out there." The toolbox slipped from his fingers, clattering across the floor. The dragon war was over, but its wounds were not. Elias knew about dragons at least the Aurelian Sky Dwellers, the faction of dragons allied with humans during the last war. Their matriarchs were living legends, enormous and powerful. If a matriarch was dying, something catastrophic had happened. "Where is she?" Elias asked urgently. The girl pointed toward the exterior bay, door sealed, heavy. Frost gathering around the metal edges from the moon's brutal vacuum. "She's outside the hangar dome," the girl whispered. "She told me to run inside while she fought. Elias's stomach dropped. What was she fighting? The little dragon hugged herself tightly, wings shivering. The metal hunters. He froze. No, not them. The metal hunters, automated sentries from the fallen Krex Empire, were thought to be extinct. Fragments drifting through space. Half mindless, half murderous. They attacked anything that radiated heat or life. If one had awoken near the base, why didn't the alarms trigger? Elias muttered. The girl shook her head. Mama said, "They were asleep under the crater ice. They woke when our ship landed, so her mother fought them alone. A matriarch might win, but only barely. And she would protect her child first." Elias stood. "We need to get her inside before she bleeds out or freezes." The little dragon scrambled up. "You'll help Mama." "I will," he said, voice firm. It wasn't a promise. It was a duty. A veteran's heart never stops. Fighting, he reached for the emergency override panel. The bay doors could open, but depressurization would kill both him and the girl, unless he slammed the emergency locker open. Inside hung to Eva suits. Much too large for her. He cursed under his breath. "Suit up," he said, pulling on his own. "I'll carry you in my arms. You don't go anywhere alone." "Understood." She nodded quickly and climbed into his grip, tiny claws clutching his chest plate. "Hold tight. Her wings wrapped around his torso instinctively, like a frightened animal. When the inner chamber sealed behind them, Elias hit the external release. The gale of escaping air roared around them before the pressure equalized. Outside, the moon's surface stretched cold and endless, and lying half buried in a crater, steam rising from her massive wounds, was the dragon matriarch. Mama Dragonshi was breathtaking even in agony. A colossal creature of silver scales and celestial glow, wings shredded, tail cut by plasma burns. One eye was swollen shut. The other flickered weakly, but she lifted her head when she sensed them. "My little one." Her voice was a deep rumble transmitted through Elias's cums. The girl cried out, reaching. "Mama." Elias rushed forward, kneeling beside the creature's enormous talon. "Ma'am, stay still. We'll get you inside." "No." The matriarch shuddered. "The hunters. They burrowed. They wait beneath. The ice what?" Elias turned sharply. The ground trembled. A metallic screech cold. Jagged cut through his headset. The ice behind them cracked open. 3 mechanical forms burst forth. Spider-like, bristling with plasma limbs and glowing red cores. The girl screamed. The matriarch snarled weakly. Elias set the girl behind him. "Stay back." A human against machines. He had no rifle. No grenades. Only a shock baton, an EVA suit, and a dragon matriarch too wounded to fight. But soldiers improvise, always. He triggered the baton. Electricity crackled around its edges. The first hunter lunged. Elias sidestepped on the low-gravity surface, driving the baton's charged tip straight into its power junction. The machine convulsed sparks, scattering in the vacuum before collapsing. Another leapt. He ducked under a slicing plasma limb, grabbed the thing's leg, and swung its momentum forward, slamming it into the crater wall. The third was faster too, fast racing straight toward the girl. "No!" Elias roared, launching himself across the ground. He caught the machine mid-leap, wrestling it down. The plasma limb slashed across his suit alarms, screamed inside. His helmet as pressure began to drop, but he didn't stop. He jammed the baton into the hunter's core. Holding it down as it writhed violently, the machine detonated in a blast of sparks. Silence returned. Only Ilias's ragged breathing filled the cums. He checked the suit. Oxygen leaking. Not much time. The girl ran to him. "Elias, you're hurt." "I've had worse," he said. Though the cold was already creeping in, he turned toward the matriarch. "We need to get you inside. Now." The weight of a legend even wounded. The matriarch weighed several tons, but she lifted her head and pushed weakly with her wings. Elias supported her where he could, guiding her toward the hangar door. The girl helped, fluttering around desperately, whispering encouragement. "Mama, please, stay awake." Step by step, minute by freezing minute, they moved. The matriarch collapsed twice. The third time, she didn't rise. "Go," she breathed. "Save my child." Elias slammed his fist against her scales. "Get up. I didn't fight those things just to let you die here." Her eye fixed on him. Something ancient stirred there. Respect, recognition. Humans were small. Humans were fragile. But humans did not break. With a final surge, she dragged herself the last meters until the hangar sensors detected them. The doors opened. Air rushed in. Heat returned. The dragon collapsed fully once inside. But she was alive. Barely a mother's gratitude, medics and engineers swarmed the hangar moments later. The girl refused to let go of Elias's hand as they worked. When the matriarch was stabilized, her massive head turned toward him. "You saved both our lives," she murmured. "I owe you a debt no treasure can repay." Elias shook his head. "You don't owe me anything." The matriarch's eyes softened. "Then I give you something not from debt, but from honor." Her daughter looked up, hopeful and warm. "Human Elias," the matriarch said, "from this day my child considers you kin, and I consider you friend." The little dragon threw her arms around him. "Thank you for saving Mama," she whispered into his chest. Elias, a man who had seen too much war and too little kindness, felt something inside him ease for the first time in years. He wrapped an arm around her gently. "You're safe now," he said. "Both of you." And in the vast hangar, beneath the bright lunar lights, a broken veteran, a wounded matriarch, and a little dragon girl shared something rare. A moment where humanity proved itself worthy of the stars. Asterisk.